Soon, our shields are dropping. Raise them! I can't! Good. Time to murder it!
I got a bad case, I'm turning it up. It's getting cold in here, so fire it up. I got a bad case, I'm turning it up. It's getting cold in here, so somebody fire it up. Come on and fire it
IFL, a happy Sunday to you and welcome to Rippin' and Tearin' 24. Before I get started, I want to give a shout out to my main man, Decker. He took the plunge, fellas, and joined us in the ranks of the merry. May God have mercy on his soul. Now, that we have that out of the way, I got a show for you tonight. Nathan returns with an all-new review of an 80s classic. We have a last chance pinch hitter for a popular segment. El Raven officially announces his candidacy. We have a post-draft recap blitz. A segment is postponed. Saved by another GM, saved by yet another GM, and settles into a familiar place. I throw down a challenge of epic proportions in the beginning of the show here, and a major, and I mean major, announcement is made. But as always, first things first. Let's do this, Manny.
Remember, Sally, when I promised to kill you last?
That's right, Major. You did.
I lied.
IFL, let me ask you a question. Who's in charge of these organizations? At what point did it say in the Luke Guide for Noobs to throw your draft on taxi 5 minutes after the draft concluded? I didn't read that tripe on the underground, but if I had, I know that Luke would have put that right next to the don't trade Julio and Brown, ever portion of the literature. Now, it's time to wake up, Oakland, and Houston, stop your laughing because I'm coming for you in a second. What in the hell is running through your mind, Damian? And don't tell me you wanted the picks, because if that's the case, your genius move netted you a number 2 in 2018. Throwing more dead Raider carcasses on that fire is the fact that after you were rated and lost the number 12 overall pick Sterling Shepard to Miami, you pulled your guys back. There is zero reason outside of needing cap for a move to put a guy in taxi right now. I think we have a real problem in Oakland, fellas. Am I wrong, Damian? Because if I am, show me. That was as rookie of a move as you could have made. And nothing you have done so far this offseason says you are ready for what's about to hit. Sure, playing fantasy football isn't like flying in an Apache, which is pretty friggin' cool, by the way. But the league is for straight lunatics, and you don't seem crazy to me, just brain dead. Step your game up. For real, you stifle that laugh? You're a mark fuck-up away from losing a potential franchise QB. I expect more from you. You want to know why? So do I. And when you have that answer, FedEx it to me with a 6-pack of Ballast Point Dorado Double IPA. Now, I give two shits about Wentz. What I do care about is exactly what I just stated about the moves Damian made. Why? You have not returned equal value to date on most of your trades. Rookies, do not arm the dead presidents. They will burn you. You've been warned. Again. IFL, do I seem like a patient guy to you? Am I the poster child for severe stroke and or heart attack? Most likely. So you have to know that Travis's false sense of urgency claim is horse shit. I need to trade. Need to be active. It's killing me to be patient. Which is why I'm so damn surprised that my counterpart in Tampa Bay is showing no damn patience at all. Just 2 months after drafting the dream team that he wouldn't shut the fuck up about via text. I'm telling you guys, I had to get a second unlimited plan because my carrier called me and was like, we don't think it was possible, but this dude just broke the server. Explain to me, Lucas. No, explain to the IFL. Why, before anything of significance has happened in the 2016 season, you would trade away Julio and Brown. You like draft picks? You rebuilding already? I'm sure in your head, no plan is a good plan. I'm here to tell you no. You had a good plan. And I don't think you've lost trades, but you let two guys go that you loved. The fun part of fantasy football is your guy. You had your guys. Example, my guy is in Denver on a ludicrous contract for a quarterback. That hurts. Come home, Marcus. Come home. When Brown is killing it for Josh, and Julio's the only good thing about Chris's team, you remember that when DT has no one throwing him the football and Keenan Allen dies 5 weeks in. Sure, you got a ton of picks, but what have the picks done for you in the past? You need to make a mark now, in year 3 of us knowing the monster. Patience is a virtue. It's season 1 of the offseason. You missed the playoffs this year? Grab Becky and hold on for dear life, because Bruce Willis and 2 space shuttles won't be able to save you from global destruction. Now, we're all aware that Aaron and his friend Hitler invaded Poland last episode. But if you missed it, a few weeks back there was talk of the impending presidential election. Somehow the conversation moved to George Washington, a guy who died with 317 slaves to his name. And unbelievably, there was Aaron again, saying, and I quote, "I'd vote for him." Am I the only one who thinks this guy should be suspended from his keyboard? Jesus Christ, man. This is coming from a guy who's the next comeback on the tip of his tongue before you formulated your next thought. Think before you hit send. That will never get old. Never. Let's talk draft show. One word. Fun. I enjoyed it a lot. The team was solid. The production was spot on. We managed to get 3 times the picks than Mordor did in its second live show. That, my friend, is man's game. Luke did a great job as a lead host. Mark was the Brit across the sea we've all come to love or hate. And Josh was John Gruden. If this show taught us anything, it's why Analyze This is sorely missed. And the commission is in the background running the board. Top notch all the way. Drink break! This has not been a smooth show, FL. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and break down anyone's draft. Well, okay. I'm going to break down one pick. Danny, when you see your number 1 first round selection go at 10 in the 4th round over in the other conference, you've got to ask yourself, are the other 21 guys who passed on Floyd right, or are you wrong? The answer is both. See how I did that there? It's a trick question there, Danny. Stay with me, kid. Now, I love how Danny is just getting torched on this pick. And I know what you're thinking, kid. El Raven doesn't know what it feels like to be wrong. Wrong again, Dano. But here's my advice to you. Defend that pick. Defend it until you die. Then next year, when you release him in a fit of rage, Nate will pick him up for $8.5 million and call him the future of the franchise. Go to hell, Nathan. And finally, Brian in Dallas. You listen up here, you smug son of a bitch. You go and talk shit on my roster, then cry poor when the bet flies? Ugh. Well, this shit is getting awfully damn repetitive. First Nathan, then Brian. I mean, Nate is poor, being a physical education major. Yelling in sweatpants is only going to pay so much, right, guys? But Brian, you're an employed member of Team Wino in NorCal, led by none other than Frisco Josh. So I guess my question is, Josh, you running a Chinese sweatshop over there? Why is it your boy can't handle a 2017 buy-in bet? Now, after seeing Brian's art skills, I know this man is worth his weight in gold. So here it is. Josh, give that man a raise so he can play with the big boys. Brian, one word if he says no. OSHA. I'll bet my 6 dogs that guy's not compliant. No safety data sheet on the Windex? How was Brian not to know to drink it, Josh? He thought it was bubblegum liqueur. This is negligence. It will not be tolerated. And neither will yours, Booker T. Now, I had to go back and do some crack research. And by crack research, I mean I verified through Nathaniel. But it seems that the EG guys all picked Spencer to win the AFC North. So, By association, you're guilty of barfing in the Raven's Nest too, Spencer. So here it is, ladies. Nathan, Brian, Spencer. All of you have claimed either your team is better and or my squad is shit. I wager to all of you $50 each towards the 2017 season. Here's the catch. Only one of you has to have a better record than me for me to pay out all of you. But if I sweep, you all pony up my 2017 buy-in at $50 a piece. That's 3-to-1 odds, vaginas. When you pull your tampons out, I'll be here for you to accept. Rippin' and Tearin' is brought to you by Hustler Magazine, showing you the pink taco in ways you never thought possible back in 1982. Back in a moment.
Rated M for mature.
Time to play the game. Time to play the game!
Alright, welcome back to the show. Here's the deal. Danny was supposed to get a shot at redemption today, but his vagina drank too much and he can't perform. That's strike 2, Dano. Luckily for the IFL, Brian in Dallas has stepped up to go ahead and cover Dano's spot. Brian, how you doing today, man?
Doing pretty good. Danny missing out. My fortune, so I look forward to playing.
All right, well, you're representing the NFC. So the AFC did not have a good showing. The record is 3. So if you can get to 4, you're going to be the all-time leader on the scoreboard, all right? All right, so here's how it works, man. I'm going to go ahead and name a band, and you're just going to tell me yes or no, is it metal? All right, Brian, you ready to play?
Let's go for it.
Okay, number 1, metal or not metal? Poison.
Poison, definitely not metal.
Thank God. All right, you're 1 for 1. Next up, metal or not metal? Danger, danger.
Danger. I'm going to go ahead, since I have not heard of that band, I'm going to go ahead and say that they are metal.
Oh my God. I cannot believe that you did worse than Danny. Dude! Danger Danger is like total 80s hair metal. Like Danger Danger is less metal than fucking Poison.
Who the hell has ever heard of Danger Danger?
Well, clearly I have, and it's my game. Oh my God.
Oh God, I just Googled him.
You just Googled him, and a fucking chill went up your spine.
It looks like 5 chicks.
Oh my God, dude. Well, I mean, I guess on some level this probably couldn't have gone any better. Do you have any last words?
I'm gonna go ahead and YouTube Danger Danger so I can get a cousin of these 5 dudes / chicks. I gotta take a listen to them, see what they are.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Well, I want to thank you for pinch hitting at the absolute last second, dude. And now that we know that we have a face-off between you and Danny, you will be back for this segment.
Alright, I think so. I think me and Danny probably fall in the same demographic. We're not old farts. So I think me and him might have to go head to head.
You know what? That's a great idea, dude. Rippin' and tearing 26, dude. We'll make it happen.
Alright, I look forward to it.
Okay. All right. Thanks a lot, man. You have a good time at your barbecue tonight.
Alright.
All right.
Later.
Back in a moment.
Let's get naughty, naughty, down and dirty, naughty, naughty. Oh, I like it that way.
Well, this is the part where you were supposed to see the Running Man trailer. But if you haven't seen the Running Man and you need a trailer, then go fuck your face. IFL, you just saw the preview to The Running Man, one of Schwarzenegger's top 10, maybe top 5, without a doubt. Now, this episode, Nate was tasked to go ahead and watch and review this movie. Now, you guys need to remember that after Star Trek 2, he would have adjusted his score on Top Gun. So the question of the day is, how many sleepy Nates will The Running Man get? I think we're about to get our first true score out of this guy. Nate, welcome back to the show. How you doing today?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good. All right, man, the floor is yours. Your review on Nate Hates the 80s of The Running Man starring Arnold Schwarzenegger.
All right. Well, I'll try and keep this one short and sweet for everybody. But first off, I just got to congratulate you on giving me a movie that actually stayed to its genre that it was selected at on Netflix. The movie had a great plot. It was set in a post-apocalyptic world in basically ruins of North America. The country's been divided into 12 districts, with the capital being the wealthiest and ruling them all. The main character, Katniss Everdeen, lives in forests of all the districts, gets selected to represent her district in the Hunger. Oh, shit. Wrong movie. I forgot you assigned me a movie that has terrible acting with Mr. Schwarzenegger and his on-screen love, Amber Mendez, who apparently was a thing in the 80s. But in all honesty, I have to say that I did not hate this movie, which is a surprise to most of you, I know. But the thing I liked is that it actually stayed true to its name. It was an action movie and not a homoerotic film that you gave me with Top Gun. The folks that actually listen to this show, it doesn't mean that I actually liked the movie. I just thought it was better than the last two that Matt actually assigned me to kind of review. So my quick thoughts on the movie is just that it's a typical 80s futuristic movie when they thought that the future would still be using 8-inch computer monitors and people would be doing jazzercise as a form of exercise.
Yeah!
And still in those ridiculous leotards. I don't understand that trend. And then the fact that they thought Adidas was going to be ruling the sports world.
Adidas did rule the sports world at one time.
In the 80s, but I mean, it's supposed to be a future movie. Come on. And then in the future, apparently all cops have kind of ditched protective helmets. They've kind of leaned towards just baseball helmets, according to this movie, which is... And they're all firing from the hip, so there's no aiming needed in the future. You can just fire from the hip. So that leads me to the question is, what the hell were you guys thinking in the 80s when you were making these movies? But the movie did have some kind of sweet potential characters in that you guys had a sumo wrestler hockey player, and then the fireball guy was pretty legit. But then they kind of took a nosedive when they brought in a character that was dressed like a freaking light bright.
What was that dude's name?
His name was Dynamo, and he was actually apparently part-time opera singer as well. And the first thought that came to my mind when I saw that scene was like, I totally see Kurt dressing like this for Halloween. It just fit him perfectly. So There you go, Kurt. There's your little shout out. But then the final scene, they put Arnold against like this Tin Man Optimus Prime guy called Captain Freedom, which was by far the worst kind of gladiator guy they had for the show. So I was a little bit disappointed there. But
I think that was Jesse Ventura,
yeah, but the character, I mean, they
governor of Minnesota.
Like, I don't care. I'm just saying, they gave him this stupid costume that he like clanked around in, and I was like, you couldn't come up with anything better than that. But in kind of closing, I want to make sure I warn some of your viewers if they choose to watch the movie. It does have some controversial parts. First, there's a locker room scene where they do a little interview, and we all know the kind of controversy that comes with, as we saw in the NFL this year. Reporters, remember, that's their office, okay? You don't need to be in there with your cameras. And then also there's a scene where the lead female character goes in and steals the video of kind of Arnold's kind of the main plot of the movie. But she steals this video, and then she puts it down south. And she keeps that video there the whole movie. And yet it still can play by the end of the movie. And I don't know if I buy that. She got electrocuted. She was running around sweating. And I don't know where that film went, Matt. If you can tell me where that film went. That she was able to keep it hidden the whole time. But I did not fall asleep during this movie, but it still sucked. So I'm going to give it 3 out of 10 sleepy Nates. I'm trying to be a little fair with my rating system. So if you got about an hour to kill and you just want to hear, or a little over an hour to kill, and you just want to hear some one-liners, it's a decent movie for Netflix. So that's my review.
Okay, you were cutting out there a little bit. What's your final score?
Oh, I gave it. What did I have 4 out of 10 sleepy Nates.
Wow, 4 out of 10 Sleepy Nates IFL. That is by far the highest rated movie yet. And now we're going to go the opposite direction on your next assignment, but we'll get to that some other time. Okay.
Good.
So, hey, Nate, I appreciate it, dude. You brought it this time. I appreciate the effort you put in, and I look forward to having you back on the show.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right. We'll be back in a moment, IFL.
On your marks! Get set!
Killian.
I'll be back.
Only in a rerun.
Go!
You unlock this team with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another off-season. An off-season of rookies. An off-season of veterans. An off-season of trades. You're moving past all of those things to a time of little movement. You've just crossed over into the off-season dead zone. Hello, IFL. It's time to blitz the league. The question, what does your first overall selection mean to your 2016 team? 22 GMs answered, 10 could go choke on a bag of fucking rusty nails. Let's do this.
Mark in Denver. Drafting Kenneth Dixon at the 2.05 was our Sonny Weaver Jr. moment. When he ends up third on the depth chart, Mark, burn that moment into your head. Jai in Arizona. Laquan Treadwell. Josh Point oh hates this guy, which made him skyrocket up our draft board. Agreed. When has Josh ever been right? Danny in Cincinnati. With Cincinnati's first selection daringly, the Bengals filled a need, but also committed to building a defense to compete in a league dominated by wily veterans. A wily veteran. That's something you'll never be if you keep making draft picks like this. Decker in San Diego. Potential is the scariest word in sports. No, the scariest word in sports, Decker, is York. York was the correct answer. Carlos in New Orleans. Hopefully my first pick, the 2.15, Mike Thomas will develop into a contributor in time, but right now he just means depth. I smell trade bait. Travis in Buffalo. As the heir apparent to Antonio Gates, Hunter Henry stands to be a major contributor down the line. Gotta love the 5-year plan in Buffalo. Those poor fans. Macklin PI in Detroit. Detroit's selection of Sterling Shepard embodies many of the qualities this franchise seeks to project going forward. Going forward, you should put him on the taxi squad. What could happen, Mac? Nate in Jacksonville. You're an asshat. Leonte Carew is a special player to this franchise and will boost this young and talented wide receiver group for years to come. Yes, Carew does belong in the special bus, Jags. Great selection. Aaron. My first overall pick is garbage. I needed a QB and he was the best one available. Your PR team is garbage. Why do Lando and the Asian alien keep blowing you up? Dan in LA. Jared Goff in the second round is the future face of the Rams franchise with elite pocket presence and accuracy, and I'm thrilled to have him. I hope you're thrilled with PTSD, because that's what this kid's going to have by week 4, Dan. Wade in Minnesota. Kenneth Dixon has a nose for the end zone, and you can't teach that. You know what else you can't teach? Mouth breathing. You're a natural, kid. Nils in Arizona. Corey motherfucking Coleman ensures I'll be skull-fucking Luke Monster for the next few years. Do you go in the ear or the nostril for that, Nils? I've always wondered. D. Jordan. The 2016 New York Giants have a lot of holes, but were fortunate to draft 2 impact linebackers from the 8th and 16th pick. I love you, man, but who the fuck did you pick? And it was one player. Get with the program! Brad in Miami. Zeke Elliott will roll into Baltimore this year, snatch the pearls off Hell Raven's neck, and piss on his carpet. Sounds like a very rude house guest. Spencer in Pittsburgh. Booker. Talented player in a system that is run heavy with a young or subpar QB. And who will share time with your number 1 running back in Denver. Good thinking, Spencer. I have no idea how you went 1-15. Eric in Indy. With only 1 DE on my roster, this pick should help shore up a huge hole for me for years to come. Well, since you didn't name him, that's great. But I'm going to imagine you drafted Charles Haley, and he's coming to your office to slap his dick on your table. Houston, Peru. That I have zero faith in that hipster twig Colin Kaepernick. Wentz blows Peru, and you can take that to the bank. The blood bank. Will in Seattle. Provides much needed depth at wide receiver. Okay, now I'm concerned. I count on you, Will. I'm going to guess you drafted Larry Crud Muffin. Josh in San Francisco. The Dolphins ruin all that is good and right in the world. Okay, I know this one. Don't need the help here. He drafted Dexter to play wide receiver. Dude's going to be a killer. Brian in Dallas. Zeke Elliott, another pick that follows my strategy. Build around young, elite talent. Hey, what you and your talent do should stay in your bedroom, Brokeback. Luke in Tampa Bay. I hope Joey Bosa is a buck for the next 10 years. Not with your quick trigger finger, pal. Thanks to all the GMs who participated. I clearly need to spell shit out for you morons. Cut to commercial. Cut to friggin' commercial. This is why I don't do it live. It's like I'm dealing with a bunch of amoebas here. Hello, IFL. On the Slack chat recently, there was talk of the upcoming 2016 presidential race. Who is the worst option? The racist Donald Trump? We know who's going to vote for you, Donald. Or the liar prune face Hillary Clinton. Now that's a hell of a choice, which got me to thinking. You need a hell of a choice, which is why I'm throwing my beak into the 2016 presidential race. Now, I've yet to select a running mate, but I can tell you that I will be running under the Fuck Your Face platform. Don't you like it? Fuck your face! In the upcoming months, my candidacy will stretch the great continental United States. From the microbreweries of San Diego to the cannabis farms of Denver, and all the way to the beer truck that Nils drives on the East Coast. I'll scour the IFL for the perfect VP. I'll kiss babies. I'll kiss your wives and girlfriends if they're hot. Many of you are asking, what are my stances on the hot topics? Chill the fuck out, IFL. We'll get there. But rest assured, if you think you've seen El Raven, you haven't seen shit yet. And remember, a vote in November for El Raven is a vote for face fucking. And who doesn't want that?
I'm sorry, that deal's now off the table. What? We live in a different world than we did just 30 seconds ago. Come on. What? What do you want now? I want my picks back, and I want David Putney.
Okay, fuck. Travis just couldn't hook up with me again. Alright, man. It's cool. I'll call in an old fucking buddy to help me out. Oh, I'm busy with my in-laws. Oh, you're a fucking bitch. Man, I cannot believe I've got to go all the way back to the beginning. Back to the creation of the show. Hey, why don't you guys rattle a little bit more? God damn. Shut up! Miami Brad! I'm not really feeling the role play. I want to be on a game show. Let's do a game show. Oh, you want to be on a game show? Okay, how many dead dolphins in the can of tuna? $10,000!
Rolling.
Alright, who needs those fuckballs anyway when I have listeners like you? Let's get to it. The first one is from Floyd in Tampa Bay. Dear L. Raven, you beat the competition on the airwaves like you used to beat my ass in floor hockey back in the day. Thanks, Floyd! No, but seriously, I'm in trouble. I drafted for shit this year. Do you think I have a legitimate shot at the NFC South title? First, Floyd, you've always got to believe. Like a TV evangelist, you have to believe! And the fact is, I like your offense. That being said, your defense has a few question marks. But as long as Shaq Lawson doesn't need both his arms to pass rush to the passer, Carl Joseph's knee knits up, Lamar Houston doesn't celebrate a single sack, and Dante Jones channels his inner Donnie Jones, you have a legitimate shot. May the Lord come down and exorcise these demons. Demons be gone! Alright, let's see what we got here. Oh, this one is from Wade in Minnesota, and it reads, Dear L. Raven, I've never listened to such an insightful show. Thank you very much, Wade. I'm not sure you're tuning the dial to the correct show, but I'll take the compliment. And that's why I write you today, as a humble rookie owner. I recently just made a trade with the League of Assassins over in Carolina. Can you give me your opinion on my trade? First, Wade, I'm not one to judge other people's trades. Oh, shit, just kidding, of course I will! The trade for you blew monkey ass. We have a long way to go before the beginning of the NFL season, and you sent what I consider a 250-point player in 2016, and a first and a second round picks in 2017, and in return, let's call him a 300-point player in Landry was brought to Minnesota, because I expect some drop-off in the new scheme as they go for balance, or more competitive, and for Brad's sake, have less garbage time and more wins. You told me via Morse code from your igloo in Minnesota that you worry Rawls won't start. Fact is, we just don't know yet, but he is the favorite. In a nutshell, let's call all traded players starters. And the first and second round picks starters in Nils' hands. You just gave up 3 for 1. Good trade, buddy! Alright, let's see who we got next. Here we go. This one's from John in Cleveland. Good old John boy! Dear L. Raven, I've got a problem. I'm here for you, John. Go on. I just can't stop quitting Slack channels. They make it, I join, I quit. I don't know what's wrong with me. I mean, reading is hard, but it's like my stupid fingers aren't talking to my brain and doing their own thing. Can you help me? First, John, the entire league is aware of your affliction, and as a whole, at least 2 or 3 of us want to help see you through this. The rest would, but hey, they had to choose between having their fingernails ripped off and helping you, and well, yeah. Look, the problem as usual is all mental with you. Are you sitting down, John? I want you to sit down. Let the Raven's voice soothe your soul. Repeat these words after me. I can rejoin a channel and leave as many times as I want. Technology is my friend. Feel better? I know I do. I think I'm going to get into a new line of work. Alright, let's see what we got next. This is fun. Oh, look, this is from Jason in Tennessee. Good work, Brad, keeping the illusion alive. It says, first, you are correct, El Raven. Canada is not a real country. To go with the fake you, Jason, it's all starting to line up. But I have a serious question. How did you figure out what no one else in the league has? And just so you know, Mark is an actor, but not a very good one. Jason, if that even is your real name. I was able to figure out Brad's elaborate ruse through several key factors. The first was how you never appear on any shows. Brad clearly was too cheap to pay 2 subpar actors, so he made up the fictitious Jason to be an online presence only. The second was the fact that you're quote-unquote a Canadian Niner fan. No one chooses this life. We're born into it. Now, I might have kept falling for the ruse if you had said you were a Winnipeg Blue Bombers fan, but adopted the New York Giants as your team and yelled, "Go USA." Now that I think about it, isn't Jason the American translation for Distrusty Kolashkov? IFL! We've got a red in here! Dig up the ghost of Reagan! Alright, one more. This one's from Damien Oakland. It's blank. Nice job, Damien? Okay. One more. Bonus. Here we go. This one is from Nick in Chicago, and it reads, Dear El Raven, I don't hand out praise, but just wow, you rock. You rock too, Nick, when you aren't complaining about the length of your kielbasa or length of shows. Raven, when I look at my roster, I feel 1 in 15 all over again. It felt so good to be a winner. Can you help me? Well, Nick, the short answer is no. But there is one ray of hope. You call the kid in Carolina and you start tossing trades at him. And before you know it, he'll make you an offer that'll make you competitive in 2017. Remember, Nick, you're an odd years team. It wasn't going to happen for you anyway. Accept it and move on. Alright, that's it for the mailbag. Now, if you're listening without a headset, this station will pause while you grab one. Okay, I'm not going to go on. So hopefully you guys went and grabbed a headset. Audio is kind of key on this next piece. Roll it!
Hello, NFL. I want to play a game. For years, you've listened to Hell Raven on the YouTube airwaves. But have you really listened? Or were you just drinking beer? What one man has given, you have taken and given nothing back. But now is your chance at redemption. For one bloody, agony-filled night, Rip It and Tear 25, movie live. Sunday, June 26th, 8 p.m. Eastern. The IFL's #1 beer drinking show is on Blog Talk Radio. Be there to relive the past and dread the future. Call in and be a part of IFL history. Now go fuck your face. Mary, we need to find a bear trap to chop your dick off.
Welcome back to the show, IFL. Put it on your calendars. Sunday, June 26th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're taking this bitch live for a one-time event. If you've enjoyed the show this season, you're going to love this episode. I hope to have as many of you guys on as live as possible. There'll be a call-in segment time slot for everyone that wants to go ahead and participate. I also have something very special planned for the final segment. And I'm toying with the idea of a pre-show prior to the broadcast that night. More on that to come. I want to thank Brian from Dallas for stepping in on a super short notice and filling in on Is This Metal segment, even though he totally fucking blew the landing. Thanks to Nate in Jacksonville for his review of The Running Man and for all the great letters. I'll see you guys in about 4 weeks. That's the show. I am out. Brad, why are you still here? The show's over, man. Go home. Okay, man. Okay. I know I told you you'd be included in the show. Alright, this one's for Brad and Josh, and definitely Kurt.